So hello and welcome back to Exploring Azeroth with Beryl and Onyx, and we are starting with Onyx today, who is going to show us one of the many ways to get into Dalaran, the amazing city of mages that was the cross-faction questing area and main city of Wrath of the Lich King, and our last Wrath of the Lich King exploration area. So the easiest way for Onyx to get there, since we left her here in Crystal Song Forest, is just to take the teleportal stone, which you unlock by doing the there and back again spell when you first come to Dalaran. So you actually have to unlock it, but it does end up leaving you right here at the beautiful Rune Weaver Square. It's actually a really nice area, and it's the area where if you're into time walking, during time walking weeks, there will be somebody here who can help you with your time walking stuff. But the first place we are going to go, since this is Onyx, is we are going to head over here to Sunreaver Sanctuary. Now, after the Purge of Dalaran, this was renamed into Sunreaver Sanctuary, and the Sunreavers, which were the group that Jaina was not happy with, this is where they retreated. A lot of people actually wondered why the Horde came back to Dalaran after the Purge, and I don't really know the answer to that. I mean, probably because it was their home. But if you go into this area, you can see all of the different quartermasters that you can do if you're into PvP. I'm not, so this is an area I really didn't know that much about, and I didn't see just how cool it actually was. A little bit better than the Filthy Animal, which is the Hords Inn. Once again, the Horde kind of got shortchanged on the architecture, but if you come in here, this is where, if your faction is in control of Wintergrasp, you will have your Wintergrasp portal, and it has portals to all of the various battlegrounds that you can go to. Also, can we take a minute and look at just how pretty that is? I don't think I had ever really come in here before I decided to start researching and really poking around in Dalaran, and that just struck me as being very pretty. Also, like I said, the Horde, I enjoy my Horde tunes, but I end up playing on my Alliance tunes more because I'm just not that into spikes. And I love my Horde, but spikes and tusks are just not my design aesthetic. And as you can see, you come in here to the Hordes Inn, the Filthy Animal, and it's a lot of skins and spikes. Although the music in the Filthy Animal is awesome. I really like the musical theme in here. But yeah, you can go around in here. You've got a couple different vendors. You've got people just hanging out. Upstairs, you have a sleeping area with a bunch of different hammocks. And again, I would rather have an actual bed than a hammock. Call me kooky, but I think I would get seasick in a hammock. So I admire the iron constitutions of my Horde tunes for sleeping in hammocks so often. This is also where you can get your Dalaran cooking daily from, I am not even going to try it. Yeah, I am. Willo Langomba, who will give you a cooking daily. If you do all of his cooking dailies, you can actually get an achievement for it. And downstairs you have just your little wine and fruit cellar. So your basic downstairs, but it's always nice to see a Horde Inn with a downstairs because I feel like most of them don't actually have that. Also out here, and only accessible if you are an engineer and if they are there, right down at the bottom of that not will, is K Togi, who is a vendor that sells some exclusive and limited items, but the only way to get her or get to her is to be a engineer with a portal in your wormhole generator. So you take a wormhole to Dalaran underground to get to her. So I always thought that was kind of fun. I've actually made it to her twice. I do have an engineer, but getting engineering up is a nightmare sometimes. Also here, if you are looking for your Lord of the Mounts achievement, or if you're just a mount collector and did not know, you can buy some mounts from Mel Francis. She's got quite a few, including the Reigns of the Traveler's Tundra Mammoth, which up until the Yak was one of the only three-seated vendor mounts in the game. And it's kind of nice. To make it into a three-seater mount, you do have to kick the vendors off. Let me show you how to do that really quick. Just in case you don't know, although most of you probably do. Alright, we're going to mount up on our Traveler's Tundra Mammoth. And to turn this into a three-seat mount, all you have to do is click over here and eject that passenger and right-click on your other passenger, and now you can have your friends jump on and you can escort them all around. It's kind of a fun little thing, and even though I feel like most people probably know it, you might not. You can also do that on your Yak mount, and I am assuming if you have the Brutosaur, the auction house mount, you can probably do it on that too. Dalaran is a really interesting place because it's one of the first big cities that we saw that was compact. Like, Shattrath is a great city, but it's a lot more spread out than Dalaran. Dalaran had everything that you could possibly want in a small little area. You've got 2 banks, you've got your Horde area, you've got your Alliance area. You have got, I think I read either 12 or 14 mailboxes. You can buy some pies and pastries here. I actually do like buying the chocolate celebration cake if I have an in-game friend whose birthday it is. You can also come over here to Antonidas Square and read the plaque to Archmage Antonidas, who was Jaina's teacher. It says, Archmage Antonidas, Grand Magus of the Kirin Tor, the great city of Dalaran stands once again, a testament to the tenacity and will of its greatest son. Your sacrifices will not have been in vain, dearest friend. With love and honor, Jaina Proudmoore. So that's always a nice area. And you can even see Nadias Light. And supposedly, if you target Nadias Light and cheer at it, you will get the pet. And I don't know if that actually worked or not. Oh, wait. I did make it go off. I might actually already have... No. It seems to have despawned. So, interesting. It does say that if you can... it says in Wowhead that sometimes you have to cheer at it twice before you actually get the pet. So, we'll see. Let me see if I've got it in my pet journal. Why do I keep typing an M? Obviously, because I cannot type decently. does not look like I have it, so I'm going to have to try that again when I bring Beryl up here. But yeah, that is Nadias Light. It is out here for Wintervale, and supposedly it's a pet you can get. Also, I don't know how I managed to go my entire WoW career without knowing this, but if you want a shortcut down to the underground Underbelly in Old Dalaran or New Dalaran, all you have to do is fall down this well, and suddenly you're in the Underbelly, which is our next area that we're going to go and explore in. Now, back when I hung out in Dalaran a lot during Wrath of the Lich King, everybody wanted these Underbelly elixirs, and they were really hard to find. Now they're kind of just all over. You can click on them, and then once you drink them, you will be turned into one of several things. Right now, I'm a Tuskar, which means for the next 10 minutes, my fishing skill has increased by 10, and for the next 10 minutes, I'm a Tuskar, which, you gotta admit, I make a very handsome Tuskar, thank you. Also down here in the Underbelly is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're over here with their Dalaran sewer rat sensei, and in Legion Dalaran you can actually get them as pets, which is kind of charming. But up until then, they were just here in the Underbelly. Also down here in the Underbelly, I think this is some sort of PvP type ring, which they did extend a great deal in Legion with the Legion Underbelly. And you can go back here. Now, also in Legion, back here is the black market, where you can go to the black market auction house. As you can see, it's not here, but there are some poison vendors and a vendor over here, I think this is her,
Hello.
who sells a pet, at least most of the time. You can get the Ghostly Skull pet from her for 40 gold.
Good luck, friend.
Well, I guess that was a him. I'm misgendering people all over. Also down here is a shark who swims around under the Underbelly. This is Sega Sedi. I butchered that name completely, but he swims around down here and he's just kind of fun. I don't think that there's any actual quests that are attached to him. He is just a very hostile shark, probably in reference to Jaws, but don't quote me on that because I didn't look it up, because I am a terrible YouTuber. Now, the other interesting way into Dalaran is actually through the Underbelly, and that's how we'll have Beryl come in, but I figure for the next few minutes while we are still a Tuskar, we'll go around to a few of the shops here. Now, just right behind Mel Francis and her exotic mounts, you have the magical Managerie. It is where you can stable your pets if you're a hunter. I kind of wish if you did stable your pets, you could actually see your pets back in here. And you can do some healing. It's also where you can get a bunch of battle pet supplies. Again, in Legion, you can get a lot more things that you can exchange for your battle pet tokens, but here you can get a calico cat, an albino snake, an obsidian hatchling, and a nursery spider. Don't pay the auction house prices, just, at least with those, buy them here.
Alrighty then.
I also kind of love just looking at all the little pets in the cages. Like, I really want to adopt them all, not gonna lie. Also, I'm not really sure that a gnome diver counts as a battle pet, but you know, we're gonna roll with it. Now, the neutral inn in Dalaran is the Legendaren Lounge. It's also where sometimes, and it looks like today there is one, you can find the books for the Schools of Arcane Magic. That's a list of books that you need to read for the Well-Read Dalaran achievement, and if you actually have the time and you find these books, actually read them. They're kind of funny. I've found some hilarious books in-game, and they're always really worth a read. That being said, I still have not actually done all of that achievement, which makes me sad. Upstairs, you've got a little more typical of a more Alliance-style rooming house with actual beds in it. In fact, this is probably one of my favorite beds in the game, just because I kind of have always wanted a 4-poster bed, and there is one here. I kind of love that. Also, sometimes a book will spawn on this bookshelf as well, so if you are trying to do the well-read achievement, always check the bookshelves. And we can't forget Jones. Jones is the inn's kitty cat. I don't think I've ever seen Jones awake, but that just means he reminds me of my actual cat in real life. Go figure. Also, every last profession has a training area here, and they're all really nice. Up until, I believe, right before Cataclysm, only engineers could use the steam-powered auctioneer. They since patched it and made it so that anyone can use the auction house here in Northrend. Also, if you are looking for more transmog-like shirts and a Dalaran healer's outfit, like the one that Ulsara is wearing, you can actually buy them from Angelique Butler. You might not be needing her to level up your first aid skill since they took it out of the game.
Need help?
But she sells 2 different shirts and the Dalaran nurse's gown.
Be careful.
So it's always a good thing. Also, if you are a mage, there is a portal trainer that only you can see who is here in Dalaran. None of my characters right now are mages, so I can't see that portal trainer, but with her you can get the book that will teach you how to portal into Old Dalaran. I think that is also the one that will give you the portal to the Dalaran crater, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Also, as we are going along, the Violet Citadel is the heart of the Mage City of Dalaran, and inside of it you can find Ronan and his wife Verisa. Unfortunately, Ronan gave up his life saving Jaina Proudmoore during the bombing of Theramore, but if you go back in time and hang out in Old Dalaran, you can still see him, and he will still yell about Algernon the Observer. If you head up the stairs, you can get a real quick portal to a fun little place, and that is the Purple Parlor. There's not really much up here, but it's just a really cool, chill place that I feel like not enough people actually hang out in. And you can get a great view of the city down below you. Back during Wrath of the Lich King, Dalaran was actually a no-fly zone, so that was one of the only ways that you could get a really good look at the city from really high up. Now, of course, you can just fly there, but it's always a nice thing to do, just come and hang out. I was also hoping that Jones and his owner were going to be out. There they are. There's really not much to them, but Jones and Tabia are just out going for a walk, and they're kind of cute, and it makes me happy. I think in the Legion Dalaran you can actually pet Jones, which is one of those things that makes my heart happy. Anyway, we are going to leave Onyx now. She's going to enjoy being a Tuskar for another few seconds, and we're going to switch over to Beryl and finish up Dalaran. Alright, so here is Beryl, and she's going to actually show us one of my favorite ways to get into Dalaran, which actually requires a flying mount. So let's get on our little kitty cat, and directly above the violet stand, as you fly up towards Dalaran, you'll see it floating up there, up above you. And you have to wonder if the mages down at the violet stand know what is leaking on them, because there is a sewer pipe under Dalaran that gets you into the Underbelly. And I just think it's
just
one
in
of...
time.
Oh.
Let's see this thing off.
Well,
then.
it sounds like somebody killed Algalon the Observer yet again. But yeah, it brings you out right here into Cantrips and Crows, which is the fourth, and I forgot about it, the fourth in Dalaran. So if you prefer to stay in the Underbelly, maybe you're a little more of a nefarious character and you prefer to stay underground, you can stay here at Cantrips and Crows. But yeah, let's head up top and see the skies above Dalaran turning dark, because somebody has yet again killed Algalon the Observer. It sounds like, considering I just heard Braun talking. So any second now, yep, there's Ronan. He's yelling. I remember once upon a time, I was trying to get the fishing achievement here in Dalaran, and I would get so annoyed because it felt like every 3 seconds Ronan was yelling.
Algalon was sent here to judge the fate of our world.
Still kind of cool though.
He found a planet whose races had deviated from the Titan's blueprints. A planet where not everything had gone according to plan.
But yeah, they've turned him down quite a bit. But that achievement I was actually talking about is if you fish up every single coin in the Dalaran fountain. And I think there's... I'm trying to remember what the achievement is. I guess I could just look it up with my toys. Because you ended up getting a toy. Now, I had to do it twice to get the toy, because when I got it, it was just an item that you had to keep in your bag. Alright, it is the Titanium Seal of Dalaran, and you have to get the achievement, the Coin Master, to get it. And really, all it is you end up with a coin that you can flip. But you know, if you need to do a heads or tails thing, it's something that you can do. It's a very silly achievement, but it's one that I did well down with strep throat when I literally could not think of anything that I could do that took very little effort, but still was something I wanted to do inside of World of Warcraft. So for that, I have fond memories of it. Now, other stores in Dalaran that you might want to check out just for transmog are pretty much any of the gear stores. All of them sell different white goods that can be transmogged now, so they are pretty much all worth a visit. And one other store before we head over to the Alliance's exclusive inn that you might want to check out. Probably want to check it out more in Legion Dalaran, but it's still worth a check in Old Dalaran, is the Wonderworks. It is the most delightful toy store in all of Azeroth. We've got toys left, right, and sideways. You've got your replica dragon eggs, or maybe they're real dragon eggs. I'll never tell. You've got your mechanical pets over here. They all seem to be glitching through the shelves, but you know, we aren't going to talk about that too much. And you can talk over here to Geppetto Joybuzz.
Pleased to meet you.
And he's got a bunch of different toys that you can buy. They're kind of fun. And if you don't have them already, it's a fairly cheap way to get them. Also, if you are doing old content, I highly suggest that you get the soft foam sword. It helps you with those quests where you have to get an enemy down to 1 HP, but not kill them, which is almost impossible to do on a fully leveled toon. So, if you were ever wondering where to get your soft foam sword for doing old quests on a fully leveled character, that's where you go. Also, Windle Sparkshine is the lamplighter of Dalaran, and even in old Dalaran, he goes around and he lights the lamps at 9 p.m. server time. If you're in Legion Dalaran, the lamps that he lights have a image of his daughter Kindi, who died during the bombing of Theramore. But even in old Dalaran, he would light all the lamps, and you could buy your own lamplighter from him if you come at the right time. Alright, here we are at a Hero's Welcome, which, once again, I have to say, except for the fact that the Horde has tables that you can cook at, I really do like the Alliance version of the tavern a lot better. Now over here you have Catherine Lee. She will give you your cooking dailies. You've got Derek Odds, who will sell you all of the various cooking recipes for Northrend. You go downstairs, it's pretty much the same as the Horde version, maybe a few more fruits and a little more cheese in there. But where this inn really shines is the upstairs, so let's head up there. Honestly, I really feel like the Horde cut shortchanged, and I feel bad for that, but it's kind of true. So over here you have this lovely room at the inn. Now you do have to share, but you've got 3 beds in here, just one big room, another one of those delightful 4-poster beds. And out back, the Alliance actually has their own private beer garden with some barmaids, and it's just a really chill spot if you need a spot to do guild events up in Northrend. It's, I don't know, it's one of those spots that I'm like, yep, yet again, the Alliance got the better deal. We also have a shortcut over here to the Silver Enclave, where you can go up to a tower up top. It's just kind of yet another chill spot. If you're on an RP server, it's a great spot just to sit and have a little conversation. You know, little secret meeting spot, always fun. And it's also, the Silver Enclave is where the Alliance's portals to all of the various battlegrounds and their vendors for PvP gear are, and where their portal back to Stormwind is. It does always make me a little bit sad to come in here and see all the empty portal chambers, but it is what it is. But yeah, you can come back here. This is where you can get all of your different portals to the various battlegrounds. Also your portal to, I think, Wintergrasp shows up here when your faction is in charge of it. And yeah, that's probably not everything in Dalaran. I'm sure that I'm missing 10 bazillion things, but those are the things that I find in Dalaran that I kind of love. So next week we will be moving on and doing some of the Cataclysm areas. We're not going to do them all because I think we already did the Twilight Highlands and Mount Hyjal. I'll go back and look. We might not have. I might have actually been saving them. And if so, we will put them into the Cataclysm era stuff. I'm starting to think that it might take a little bit longer per zone going forward because the zones got bigger. But anyway, thank you, as always, for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something new. Did I actually learn something new? Actually, I did. I didn't know about jumping down the well until this week. So, goes to show, even if you've been playing this game a long time, there's stuff you miss. Leave me a thumbs up if you don't mind. It does always make me smile. I really appreciate it. And next week, we're going to be moving on to Cataclysm. Until then, say goodbye, Beryl.